Hi guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. Will here from HPT Group for Open Solutions, and today's video, as you saw the title, is about nominee directorships, right? So a lot of people talk about nominee directors like it's some type of secret offshore trick. And if you want the truth, it's really not. It's completely a legal privacy tool used by family offices, fund managers, entrepreneurs who need compliant, professional representation in offshore companies. And essentially, they are used for many reasons. So in this video, I'll break down how they actually work, and I'll show you a real example that actually includes the Isle of Man, one of the most respected offshore jurisdictions that combines privacy, low tax, and full economic substance compliance, right? If you haven't met me before, it is Will from HPT Group. We were formerly known as Open Solutions. And again, we help people tax-wise with international business. Essentially, we essentially help you design those fancy tricks that a lot of people don't know around the world, and in turn help you save some money. We've set up trusts, funds, CFD brokers. We advise on fintech licensing. We do a whole host of things at Open Solutions. So if you haven't already booked a meeting with me, you can do so for free. The meeting link is down below, and you can go ahead and do that. And if not, you can learn more about what we do at HPT Group at our website, www.hpt.group. And you might have seen Open Solutions as well. You can also type in that domain as well. So what is a nominee director, right? So a nominee director is an actual professional, sometimes even a company, who actually appears on the public record as the director of your company. They represent the entity legally, but do not own, control, or profit from it. So very important there, as you, typically the beneficial owner, retain control via an internal legal agreement. It can be power of attorney, nominee agreement, and the declaration of a trust, for example. So think of them as your public-facing representative, someone who sits in the director's chair for the paperwork while you actually retain the actual controls behind the scenes, if that makes sense. So you keep your name off the public registers, reducing exposure, especially if you own multiple ventures or high-value assets. So many jurisdictions like the Isle of Man, BVI, Cyprus, allow this as long as you maintain full UBO disclosure privately with the registered agent or regulator. So if you actually live abroad, your nominee can sign filings, maintain compliance, and even meet local presence requirements as well. So, it works as in many different variations. Sometimes you even need local economic substance. Now, we do see this with much smaller enterprises, especially, for example, with the Isle of Man. Can be very common with that one right there. So let's say, for example, you are the actual UBO residing abroad, you're holding the actual an Isle of Man company, right? In terms of you are the actual UBO, the local director would be somebody else, which would then be called a nominee. And this is the appointed local professional. And essentially the registered agent would hold the compliance and the records for this, and power of attorney would give you full control over the decisions actually made in regards to contracts, banking, XYZ. Now, examples of documents that you could think of would be a nominee director agreement, declaration of the trust, power of attorney, some other letters, and essentially a pre-signed resignation letter as well. So these documents guarantee that your nominee can't act independently. They simply act when instructed to do so, both protecting your privacy and for your compliance, right? So a client, from Dubai might set up a company in the Isle of Man to hold some EU intellectual property and then license it back to a UK trading company, right? So the actual goals of this particular example, we do actually see a lot at HPT Group and have actually helped build these structures before, is to maintain the actual offshore control and the tax efficiency, build real economic substance on the actual island, very key there, and keep personal privacy, so then you're not listed on both public registers, which anybody can go and look at on Google, right? So essentially, when you incorporate a company, they're the CSP, which is the corporate service provider. Essentially, they would appoint a professional nominee director for you who's locally a registered and often a chartered accountant or a professional at doing this, right? Now, this essentially then, the company will then maybe go on to rent a shared office space, And then, essentially then the nominee would then go ahead and hold quarterly board meetings on the island, ensuring management and control are demonstrated from the Isle of Man, right? So accounting and bookkeeping are also done locally from this licensed firm as well, or another licensed firm is also locally on the island, just increasing the economic substance. So something I used to speak about a lot on this YouTube channel is economic substance, and we can obviously do things to help you get that, whether it's in Cyprus, whether it's in Isle of Man, British Virgin Islands, Cayman Islands. We have helped clients all over the world do this. Now, in terms of banking and operations, the company opens a bank account, essentially then with the Isle of Man, and all the actual operational invoices are processed by this account, demonstrating the genuine business activities within the local islands. And the beneficial owner controls operations under Power of Attorney Act, but never actually appears in the public filings. He just owns the company, right? So again, this is 100% legal. And again, corporate tax actually is 0% on most trading income. And the annual return and substance test is then filed by the nominee. And this actually, it just ensures all compliance is all ticked off and it's all perfect and legal. So while the beneficial owner remains in full control, the Isle of Man company operates transparently, it's locally managed, it's completely compliant with OECD standards, and it's a real substance. It's not just a shell company, right? On the front cover really anyways. So in terms of a legal framework, they are recognised, especially under the Isle of Man, under the Isle of Man Companies Act 2006. So the owner's name is never public unless it's required by a regulator or a court order, and they must actually follow their specific duties, but again, they're under instruction to do so. So we can go over these documents for a long while, but there are some common mistakes, right? And this is appointing a like a random local, using a nominee without a proper letter, XYZ, having no real activity or local management, and forgetting the bank stuff required, obviously both details, right? You're going to need the compliance details, the passports, all of this information from that nominee as well. And again, a HPT Group, we actually build these setups from end to end for you. So we take you from A to B, very simple, right? And we actually have a full-on team stack there. We have those connections, but it can be very, very, very useful for you. And again, we also have those accountancy firms on tap as well for you. So if you did want to actually build a similar structure, maybe it is even the Isle of Man, we also can help you form a company over there. We can help you form a company in British Virgin Islands, Nevis, Cayman Islands, Cook Islands, and consult you on the ongoing matter as well. That's essentially what we actually do. So that is a reason why you can just book a call with me. Yes, we can chat by email. It's nice to chat. I like to chat anyway. I'm English. We always speak too much. And it's just good to really understand your objectives, right? And then from there, we can actually build a custom solution that allows you to fit with your objectives moving forward. And at the end of the day, that's just fantastic. It's a fantastic service that we do give to our clients. And it's super nice. It's all completely legal. It's really understanding these little tricks that you can do to obviously, save a lot of money, essentially, right? So again, when used correctly, these nominee directors can be a great actual loophole. There's a huge layer of professionalism and privacy that kind of comes with it, right? And when you combine this with a little bit more substance activities in a jurisdiction like the Isle of Man, as I was just speaking about, you are operating at a global standard, meeting all compliance requirements. So once more, if you want to just set up a call, check us out, you can do so. The links are down below. And other than that, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Cheerio. Bye-bye.